Shares of Estée Lauder are trading lower today after the company said it is in talks regarding a potential merger with Spanish beauty and fashion company Puig. Shares of Puig have risen sharply. Let's get more now from Oliver Chen, Managing Director, Senior Equity Research Analyst at TD Cowen. Oliver, thanks very much for joining us.
Roger, it's a pleasure to be here.
All right, this is a pretty big deal, I guess, within the cosmetics makeup industry. What do you like about it? What are some of the positives to this?
Yeah, the story here is Estée Lauder gaining access to a bigger fragrance business and adding more fragrance to their portfolio. So it's a good deal on paper. However, execution matters a lot in terms of integration, culture, the way these companies work. That's a big unknown. Furthermore, it's noteworthy that Estée Lauder is still in a process of recovery. The margins are lower at about 15% versus 20% and higher in the past. And also, it's losing share in some areas. So Estée Lauder's undergoing a renovation itself, and we'll see about this deal. But on paper, it's a good deal because it gives Estée Lauder a bigger footprint in fragrances. Fragrances have been a very successful category, as we forecasted at TD Cowen to grow mid to high single digits or more. Furthermore, the target Puig has a very nice portfolio of iconic fragrances, including Caroline Herrera, Rabanne, and others. So those are big positives for the industry in terms of the fragrance business and also the nature of what they'd be getting. Puig valuation has been lesser in terms of the IPO and what's happened with Puig over time. So it's a good value as well. With that valuation. Otherwise, Estée Lauder may have to do several small M&A deals to achieve what's possible. But the devil's really in the details, and it's about almost hiring a DJ before you have a venue or wiring.
I love that reference in your notes. Has Estée Lauder ever done anything like this, anything this big?
No, it's one of the biggest deals. Earlier in the history of the company, there's been Tom Ford deal and smaller deals as well. And integration has been a consideration for Estée Lauder, meaning it's not always been easy for this company to integrate some of the brands. So that's something analysts and I'm watching too for what it means. It takes a lot of people in marketing and skills. We also have a lot happening in the beauty industry, meaning TikTokification, Amazonification, the continued new channels at which consumers are shopping. So that's part of the story, which makes it quite dynamic. Another element is competing against big heavyweights such as L'Oreal, and that's part of what these companies are looking to do. As we look ahead, Puig is also developing some skincare. So Estée Lauder is iconic for La Mer, advanced night repair, skincare. That's a potential synergy to Puig too. And there are synergies like sharing research and development, centralized costs as well. And also Puig has done a very good job executing on global campaigns with the right amount of drama too.
And the culture, potential culture clashes, what might be issues with that? I'm looking, the family has 90% of the voting rights that's involved with Puig. And could that be an issue at all, do you think?
Yeah, it's always a consideration. You know, you really have to get that piece right because these brands are about humanity and managing them for the long term. What's good about Puig, as we see it, is their iconic portfolio brands has been very stable, and the family has been committed. That being said, any deal that happens, needs to have that compatibility, especially because this is a unique Spanish-based company with a long family heritage. But perhaps the two can be better combined, and they see opportunities. But partnership and leadership, that's a big part. It looks great on paper, and it's probably accretive. However, this will not work if the compatibility isn't there with the power structure as well.
And where are the growth opportunities with this?
Well, fragrances in terms of what's happening there globally. Also, skincare in terms of Estée Lauder bringing skincare capabilities to Puig as well.
And but I mean, beyond, like, obviously acquiring the company, but where would potential opportunities lie expanding the fragrances or bringing them to new markets?
Yeah, and what the footprint becomes more sophisticated. Estee Lauder has some nice strongholds in Asia and and travel retail as well. Puig has some very good strongholds in Europe. So globally, it's a good picture as well. Puig has done a good job launching in some specialty wholesale channels. That's another area which is quite healthy for both players. Travel retail, and Puig has done a good job with brands like Byredo and others on direct to consumer. So I think those are all channels where the modern beauty shopper is shopping. Both of them need to face the challenge of Amazon and what to do there. Estee Lauder has partnerships with Amazon, so there's learnings there as well. And both of them have relationships with Sephora, which is owned by LVMH. So it's synergistic in terms of these opportunities across the channel, and they'll have to modernize together. Estee Lauder is a work in progress in terms of becoming more digitally enabled and driving more loyalty and younger customers. Puig has a very nice portfolio of brands within masstige and premium mass, which is quite appealing to younger customers as well.
And you mentioned about digital. Just curious, how does AI come into play in a sector like this?
Yeah, we're thrilled about AI. I teach a class at Columbia Business School on AI as well, but AI is coming through the consumer experience in terms of conversational commerce and personalization. AI is also a real unlock for the logic of retail and supply chain and inventory management and getting the right stuff to the right place at the right time. Beauty's also done a great job historically with augmented reality, meaning really seeing your face and understanding changes you can make with color and lipstick and makeup. And that's part of the AI magic as well. But beauty can be complicated, yet very, very fun. And part of that personalization aspect is what AI can do very well in terms of helping you discover things that are personal to you, that you need but you didn't know you needed, and also like enhancing your look across skincare. And sometimes these models can horrify you in terms of what they recommend or what you need to do, but that can also help with engagement and solve problems too when you think about skincare. Skincare is worth speaking about because Estee Lauder has a stronghold in skincare. And skincare is a hard industry to crack because it requires so much loyalty. So that's something on a combined basis that Puig could benefit from. And there's a lot happening in the world of skincare with medicalization and efficacy and diagnosis and sun care that will be a continued of interest to all consumers as that category evolves too.
All right, we have to wrap it up there, Oliver, but thanks very much for joining us.
Pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
Cheers. Oliver Chen, Managing Director, Senior Equity Research Analyst at TD Cowen.